good teams find a way to win, and I believe that we're a good team. Tonight we did not play this afternoon we didn't play a very good basketball game, and a lot of that credit goes to how Vermont defended us and how they ran the shot clock down to below 10 seconds on nearly every possession. They are very well coached, and they're a very good basketball team. There's a reason why they're the top team in the American East. But good teams find a way. When you shoot 2 for 20 from the three-point line, and you really just play a methodical, slow game that doesn't really fit your style, and you still find a way to win, you feel really good about that. I think that the play call that Vanessa Abel had for us to get Tess Myers that three-point shot speaks to our team. Tess hadn't shot the ball well, and the team hadn't shot the ball well, but we kept going to her, and Tess has that great self-belief, like a lot of our players, to knock down a big shot like that. So, really happy that we got the win tonight. We shot it really well from the free throw line in a game that was not typical for us. And we also got 36 points in the paint, where we've really started to assert ourselves. And it looks like we have, a little bit of an advantage in the post, and feel good about that. Very tough victory. We led, we won 3 of the quarters, which is really kind of surprising to me. I felt like we were playing from behind, like most of the game, and even when we had the 4-point lead, we couldn't extend it, and that's credit to Vermont. And we shot the ball very poorly tonight, but again, we kept attacking and attacking and attacking, whether it was through post touches or drives. And we didn't get every call. You're not going to, and found a way to win through all of that. Yeah, I mean, you can't lie and say, hey, it's just another day. I'm worried about practice tomorrow. I mean, I think we all, when we're assistant coaches, we drive down the highway and go, what if? What if? And I was fortunate enough 15, 16 years ago for Susie McConnell Serio to hire me. And, I had her brother Michael put in a good word for me, along with Jeremy Bennett and some other people, and Susie hired me, and we had a great run together as an assistant to Susie. And then I was very fortunate that Greg Amodio believed in me. And then, after Greg moved on, what Dave Harper has done for me, and what President Gormley and our board has done to support our women's basketball program has been the world. President Gormley is here today, and it means the world to me that he's here. And I can tell many stories of how he's supported our program. Dave Harper, our athletic director, has been fantastic with giving us the resources that we need to compete at the highest level. And more than resources, he's been kind of a beacon or a guide for me. He's challenged me to become a better coach, and I really appreciate his leadership and what he's done for me. But you just don't think about these kind of things when you first get the job. You think about them when you're an assistant, and 10 years later, here we are. And if it wouldn't have been for the sacrifices of my wife, Kata, and my sons, Shoma and Milan, this wouldn't happen. My immediate family, my wife and my 2 children really sacrifice a lot for this to happen. And I love them dearly, and I appreciate what they do. And, I hope one day that my little one, Milan, plays basketball here for Coach Dan Brott. When you talk about this, though, it really is the players and the coaches' record more than anything. From Matt Schmidt and Rachel Wadowski and Eddie Benton and Jade Singleton and Marissa Manko, to Rick Bell and Frank Ferraro and Cherie Lee, Melissa Franco, Stasia, Vanessa, and all the people that have worked within our program. Dennis Katurich, Amy, our trainer, Kat, our trainer. Like, there's so many people that I'm very macro, and I give people responsibilities and allow them to really become head coaches of their area. And this record is really part of theirs also, especially someone like Cherie, who's been here for so long with me. I'm excited for what her future holds. And then I know this is the longest answer in the world, but you don't win without players, and we have good players. And we've proven that time and time again. And I believe that this team this year is a special team, and it's a team that has the chance to really chase their own destiny and achieve it if they want. Um, Cal Poly Lispis. How do you say that? Cal Poly. I would just call it Cal Poly. Yeah, because I went to Cal Poly a couple years later, and I was like, boy, this is a beautiful school. Why didn't we play there instead of Chicago? Oh, I would hope so. And I'm really, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that I remember that. There are certainly more victories that stand out, but as a coach, a lot of times it's really the defeats that you remember more than anything. Losing in the A-10 championship game to George Washington and one of the best players that's ever played in the Atlantic 10 in Jonquel Jones. We had Angela Staffolino come off the bench and hit a couple threes, and the last one rimmed out. But after that heartbreak of losing in the championship, we came back, and it was about 2:30 in the morning, and there was one person waiting for us. It was President Gormley, just waiting there underneath the light post, and I'll never forget that ever. But there's been a lot more good times, a lot more good times than bad times, and we celebrate this win today, but I've been here for 15, 16 years, and today is also our 300th victory since being here. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Susie McConnell for the opportunity that she gave me a long time ago. Oh, I get them all mixed up. I'm going to try to. No, I won't do that here. But it's a special group. When you look at the tournament team with April Robinson and Millie Gronish, Amadeus Samashi was a special player. Kadri Ann Loss gets lost in the shuffle sometimes, and people don't recognize how good of a player that she really was. Josie Ann Johnson and Paige Cannon and Nina Aho. Dev Workman is one of the best players that we've ever had here. If she would have played 4 years coming out of high school at Duquesne, she'd go down as an all-time great, without question. Um, we probably would. That's a good point. Aaron Wiskowiak. The measure of success with your players is what they do when you leave here. Sure, the wins are great, but what do they do when they leave? And wow, I mean, the things that they have done are incredible. Dev is a successful businesswoman and a mother out in Eastern PA. I love what Aaron Wiskowiak is doing, helping to coach local high school basketball and running a basketball center here in town. Amadeus Samashi continues to do her art. And, I mean, I could go down the line. Deanna Voynova is in London doing really special things there. Diamond Bragg, that played for us, is with BNY Mellon. We don't just win on the court, we win outside the court in the real world. And that's the biggest thing I think we take away from this program is that you're going to have a great experience. You're going to win a lot of basketball games. But when you leave Duquesne University, you're going to have a degree that has a high amount of value, and you're going to be ready for the workforce if you don't go play professionally overseas for a year or two after. It does. I kind of, I've said to a couple people, I feel like I'm Johnny Appleseed in a sense. I've planted a lot of seeds in Western Pennsylvania with really smart, successful young women, and I've done that overseas also. And so, in 10 or 12 years, maybe 15 years, I'll be able to see how those seeds have grown and get to travel the world and see my players as their women with their families and their children and their successes. And that's what I look forward to long term down the road. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen, and people don't realize the difficulty it is to get to the NCAA tournament. People don't realize the difficulty it is just to get to the NIT, especially with the way the makeup of college athletics is now. It's becoming even more increasingly difficult when Power Five programs are playing more conference games, and you can't get a game against a Power Five on a neutral floor or a home floor. So I give a lot of credit to Lance over at Pitt to continuing the City Game series for the women. I think it's really important that we continue that. But that team that went to the NCAA tournament, we were all there. A lot of us were there, and you know, Melissa Franco did an incredible job. Our director of operations did an incredible job putting on a first-class event. I remember walking in, and I thought the president of the United States was going to speak with all the media. I think every media outlet in Pittsburgh was there, and those kids really deserved it. They were an incredibly special team, and we're looking forward to honor them here in the near future. But a lot of them are still playing professional basketball. So when they wrap up their careers, we'll make sure that we have them back. And you know, that was a great team because you also have a situation where it was the first NCAA tournament appearance for us, and we scored the most points of any team, men or women, in their first appearance in the NCAA tournament. We still hold that record. And what makes it special for me is that Erin Wiscoviak, who recovered from the horrific leg injury that she had, hit the last three. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you for supporting women's basketball. See you again soon. Thanks, guys.